What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, that means you're new. I'm Mark. What's good with y'all? I'm back. It's been a little bit. It's been over a week. I know. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know what the deal is. I have my own life. I have a real job other than this. You know what I mean? If YouTube wants to start paying me a good amount, then hey, we might be able to work something out. But y'all read the title of this video, right? Gun review. Glock 19 Gen 3. You can see the chamber is clear. Mag is out. So, let's go ahead and start off strictly with my opinions on this gun. I fucking love this gun. All right. I cannot think of really anything I have against this gun overall. Now, here's what I will say. I'm pretty sure if y'all have seen my other videos, I've made it clear that out of all the generations of Glock, I like the Gen 4s the most. That's just my opinion. I have nothing against Gen 3s. Gen 3s are probably my number two out of, all the generations of Glock. But Gen 4s, I think, are where it's at. The main reason why is, thinner grip, bigger mag release button. However, thicker grip isn't the biggest deal for me. The mag release button overall is just the main thing I don't like. Other than that, hell. You know what I'm saying? There's not much that really makes it too much. You know what I'm saying? So, let's go ahead and run this gun down through, a few situations. First off, what is this gun good for? All right. And some of y'all who don't know this should know this is not this model, obviously. I mean the model, yes, but not this exact one. Glock 19 was, one of, not the very first, because that'd be the 17. However, Glock 19 was one of the first Glocks ever made. So, with that being said, there should be some, high hopes for it, right? Yeah, all right. It holds up. It runs like a tank. Shoots amazingly. Never had an issue with it. Now let's go ahead and get into a couple of situations, right? Of course, I'm gonna run it through the 4 situations just because. Why the fuck not? However, actually, before I do that, something that I realized I believe that I didn't do in my LCP review. I might have done in the Beretta review. I'm not sure. Is quick tutorial on how to take it down. Chamber's clear. So you take apart your Glock 19. You of course remove the mag. Make sure the chamber is clear. Hold down these little tabs right here because there's one on each side. There we are. Sit there. Take a recoil spring guide rod out. Take your barrel out. Bam. Oh, by the way, shout out to my dog Adam. Let me borrow this gun, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to you, bro. You always come in clutch. Come on now. So, let's go ahead and get this bitch back together. Now, with me showing y'all that, let me go ahead and run it through a couple of situations. Now, of course, I'm sure y'all knew this, all right? But Glock 19 is a double stack 9mm pistol, all right? As y'all can see, clearly double stack Glock mag, 9mm. Overall, and it's 15+1 capacity. That should also be mentioned. Overall, I'm going to say through these situations, it's going to get a pretty high grade, and I can already tell y'all this for a fact. This is what's known as the all-around gun. You can use it for concealed carry, home defense, realistically, whatever you need, depending on what you need. Depending on what you need. So let's start it with home defense, right? So you got a real amount of light on, 15+1 capacity. Realistically, if you wanted to, and you're worried about the capacity, you can fit a Glock 17 mag in there. So that's 17+1. I mean, if you're like me and you like stick mags, you can go get a Glock 30 round stick mag. That's 31+1, but if you get the +2 base plate, 33+1. That ain't bad, my friend. 34, that ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? So, regardless, all right. Home defense, let's say with the standard capacity, because that's mainly what we're looking at as the standard, of the Glock 19, just like we do with all the other ones, right? 15 rounds, 9mm. You can attach a light to it. Very easy to shoot gun. overall it gets a passing grade. It definitely would get a passing grade as far as home defense goes. Here's why: you turn the corner, you see a few armed home intruders, you got the light on them, and I think people underestimate the power of a light. And here's why I say that. Now, granted, this is, of course, not a guaranteed thing to happen, but I'm going to be real with you. I've seen plenty of situations where, someone's turning the corner, they got their light on the person. The person for that moment is like, oh shit, there's a fucking light on me. They're not reacting like how they would if someone had just, started shooting at them. You see what I'm getting at? I don't know. I've seen a couple of situations though where they kind of froze up a bit as soon as they seen the light, and it's like, okay, yeah, I identified who you are. Bam, you know what I mean? Back to what I was saying. Overall, it does a pretty good job of home defense. I can genuinely say I would trust it. As is, no upgrades other than adding a light on it. I think that's fair to say. For home defense, yeah. Concealed carry, it's funny actually. This is mentioned. Hey, baby, is that holster over there? Thank you. All right. Concealed carry. I have a holster. Like, realistically, I mean, I can tell y'all this. Not hard to conceal. Not an issue by any standard. Comfortable. Not an issue. So as far as concealability goes, especially with the capacity it has, I think, in most concealed carry situations, you're going to be all good. You know what I mean? I think that's just mainly the best way to explain it. 15 plus one, if you have the plus one in there, which I do recommend for concealed carry in particular. And honestly, I do recommend it for home defense. However, if you have kids around, I understand wanting to, maybe keep your gun in a lockbox, or, maybe not wanting it to have one in the chamber, whatever. However, concealed carry is what we're getting onto, because home defense, I already went through. It does what it needs to do. Concealed carry, it'll definitely do the job. I mean, yeah, granted, we've been seeing, a trend recently amongst people who are going to break the law and do shit like that they're walking around with sticks and drums. Yeah, but those are people who aren't expecting others to shoot back at them. I'm going to be real with y'all. Those are not people who are looking for a gunfight. That's just the truth. Excuse me. So with that being the case, I think the 15 plus one is going to do you just fine. Of course, I am, the type of guy who says, hey, if you can have an extra mag on you or maybe carry a full size gun, do so. But do so comfortably. I do believe, that concealed carrying should have some level of comfort to it. It's supposed to be comforting that you have the gun on you. It's just sometimes not. Look, I'll get into that a whole nother video. I might, probably, yeah. Regardless, so I think, the size it is not super big, not by any standard. Shit, I wish I had the 17 with me. But not super big. Definitely not super small. Not at all. I am not saying it is small. Because if you want to say, oh, yeah, look at a small gun, bam, I got my LCP right here. We really want to, I'm saying, compare these two. That is, you see what I mean? This is a small gun right here. Not saying this is a small gun by any standards. However, and it's not really a big gun. So I'd have no issue concealed carrying it. The capacity works perfectly with how reliable Glocks are. All right, it's going to do the job you need it to. So for concealed carry, I can honestly give it a a good old thumbs up. SHTF, this actually I'm real happy about. All right. And people are going to be like, well, why? Well, I'm about to get into it. Girl, stop. Oh, something I forgot to even mention for home defense or concealed carry strictly is that, yes, while it is in 9mm, and, we can all agree 9mm isn't, out of all the calibers in the world, it is not the most hardest punching. That's fine. That's fine. Not the quickest stopping, the man stopper. I mean, I've seen people go down with one round of 9mm, but I've also seen people go down with, fucking 30 rounds. I that goes for almost any caliber realistically, mm, except for double aught buck 12 gauge. Other than but regardless, that's neither here nor there. My whole point I was getting at is that with that capacity, of 9 mil, you should be fine. That goes for concealed carry and home defense. Now back to SHTF, because it's 9 mil. 9 mil is the most commonly made caliber in the world. It's the most popular caliber. Most popular pistol caliber in the world, if I am not mistaken. I'm pretty sure I'm 100% right on that, but there's always that possibility. If I'm wrong, please tell me. I'm always down to listen. But not to mention it's Glock. Glocks are very, very much so mass produced. These motherfuckers are made every damn day. Every damn day. So, with that being the case, parts aren't going to be hard to find. Ammo's not going to be hard to find. Mags even aren't going to be hard to find. It would do a good job. The capacity, the caliber, everything is working, good as far as the Glock 19 goes in an SHTF situation. Now, of course, in an SHTF situation, we're really talking like shit hits the fan, mass lawlessness type shit. We're not really worried about concealed carrying too much, so why not go for a 17, in my opinion, open carry, but that's just me. That's just my thoughts. So as far as SHTF goes, I think it'll do the job, for most situations. Of course, in SHTF comes situations where you're gonna deal with animals, things like that. Granted, 9 mm is not the best hunting caliber. However, it is a pretty solid, self-defense caliber when it comes to defending yourself against another human. I think we can all agree there. I think that's what'll, that with how common the caliber is made, how common, well, not the caliber is made, but how common the ammunition in that caliber is made. Better way of phrasing it, how common parts for the gun are made. I think it'll do just fine. You feel me? I think that's the nicest way of saying it. Let's move on to animal defense. Now, I will say, this is definitely something that it's not going to get the highest grade in. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to have a 10 out of 10. Let me go ahead and sit here and try to gather, my thoughts on as far as what animals you could really deal with 9 mil, right? All right. So realistically, we're talking defense against an animal. So small game is completely out the picture. If you're getting killed by some fucking small game, you're a bitch. I think we can all agree on that. You were the bottom of the fucking food chain. You were meant to go, dog. So with that being the case, we're not going to talk about that. Against dog, coyote, wolf, things like that, I think 9 mil will do a good job. I do. I do. Now, here's what I will say. I'm in Florida. I know one situation, all right, where I know somebody who used a 9 mm against a gator. It didn't kill the gator by any standard, all right, but after the gator got shot, it went back in the water, which was a good thing because it was hissing and fucking, walking up on some weird shit. But regardless, the whole point I was getting at, and now, granted, I will say this once again. I want to clarify this because I feel like there are people that are already typing in the comments. I can hear the typing right now. Oh, he didn't kill a gator with a 9 mm? No, he didn't. I have zero fucking clue whether that gator died because of that bullet. I do not believe so at all. I don't believe that gator died because of that bullet. However, that bullet probably made the gator be like, oh, yeah, let me just go back in the water here. So, I mean, as far as that goes, if it'll do that, which I've seen it happen one time, granted, I haven't had too many other situations that I've known of where gators have been extremely close to me or people I know. You know what I mean? That we've had to use firearms. So if it'll do that, yeah, that's cool. But I'd rather, if I'm really dealing with, a life threatening situation with an animal, that animal is trying to kill me most likely. That motherfucker is not trying to sit there and give me mercy. I don't think I'm gonna give it mercy. You know what I mean? Against a bear, probably not going to be any good. Now, of course, there are ammo like Buffalo Boar, the plus people, the fucking crazy high pressured shit, and that might do a good job. It might. I think as far as that particular situation goes, it does boil down essentially to ammo. But let's take your normal. What's on top of here? It's a plus P. There we are. Let's take your normal critical defense rounds, right? I think overall these are gonna, they're gonna do a good job against animals that you're more commonly gonna deal with in the city, like maybe an aggressive dog, or maybe I guess coyotes and wolves aren't really something you see in the city. However, shit, you never know what the fuck you gonna see in Florida, bro. Y'all know what the deal is in Florida. Come on now. So I wouldn't give this, as great of a, recommendation for defense against, wildlife or animals as I would for concealed carry, home defense, or SHTF. I think I've made that pretty clear. The hell, the animals that it will protect you against, it will protect you against, y'all. Like, it definitely will. But other than that, it's not really great as a defense against animals. It's really not. It is a great gun, though. So with that being the case, I think I can honestly say overall, we're looking at, on a scale of 1 to 10, we're looking at least a 9, if not like an 8.75 bare minimum. Bare minimum. That's like, oh yeah, I forgot to turn my work in on time, so I got points deducted, dog. See what I'm saying? So if anybody has any questions about these, you know what? Actually, since I got this here, I wanted to show y'all this in my Glock 23 review. But, because I didn't have the 19 with me, I couldn't. So go ahead and sit here. Yeah, I really wanted to show y'all this in my Glock 23 review. Chamber is clear. Chamber being clear, I can. All right, so y'all can see this is my 23 slide. All right, you can. Where's that? You can even see at the top of the barrel. If you look close enough, 40. Let me try to make sure that's. My bad for hitting the mic, y'all. I don't know if y'all can see it too well, but it's like right there. My whole point, though, is that, they're both Gen 3. They're the exact same size as I mentioned before in my other videos. So, with that being the case, you just saw me take the 19 apart, right? We'll put this frame down right here. Grab the 23 frame, and you can tell it's my frame because of the button, all right? Oh, and the slide stop lever. Now it's a 9mm. Now it's a Glock 19. See what I mean? So it is a Glock. It is, they are compatible with other Glock parts. So don't think that changed just because, it's not. I don't know. I just felt the need to point that out to y'all. But other than that, I'm sure y'all have been waiting to hear this from me. I've been not waiting to say it, but I got another video idea I think y'all are going to like that I'm going to try to do tonight. So y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit all. And because you're like, you know what? I might go get myself a Glock 19, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a Gen 3, maybe a Gen 4. Who knows? Go and check out Adam's channel, podcast channel, you know what I'm saying? Gun Nut TV, Centerfire Podcast. Y'all know what the deal is. Y'all make sure to stay legal, stay safe, stay dangerous. Have a good one. Peace.